Now, Gunna really exposed the rap game and the so-called street code in a couple of ways. Want to talk a little bit about that, and I'm sure you know why we're having this conversation. Gunna, also recognized as Gunnatello by some, of course made headlines a few weeks back after he got released. Gunna was incarcerated on the YSL RICO charges along with him and his guys. YSL,
Yo, why do Gunna look like me but uglier? You feel me?
Thug, and Gunna got indicted on these charges back in May of last year. However, on December 2022, a couple months back, crazy how time flies, after 7 months of being locked up, he became a free man. This release, like a lot of us already know, was possible due to a plea deal Gunna and his legal team were able to negotiate. He took this plea agreement called an Alfred plea, where he essentially pled guilty to one or several offenses, but at the same time maintained his innocence in the process. So he pretty much pled guilty without technically pleading guilty, and that allowed him to finally get the F out of the box, and so that's what happened. The response to Gunna's release was very expected, at least from my perspective. Gunna's a snitch, he's a rat, he folded under pressure, somebody better snatch away his street cred, cause this ain't it. Not only was the internet saying these things, but we did also see a couple rappers who chimed in about it. Boosie was one of them, of course. He ended up calling Gunna a rat. 6ix9ine also had a couple things.
I feel like Boosie is always like that though. Boosie will say shit, like Boosie will say shit and not even care. You feel me? So Boosie saying that is not surprising. I'm expecting one of YSL members to say that shit, because if they said it, which is actually stupid to say, like why would you say that? Because if you said that, then you will be targeted. Like the police, oh, okay, if this guy actually thinks he's snitched, that means that guy is one of them. You feel me? So that's why I feel like members of YSL are not saying shit.
Things to say, but that's not surprising since 6ix9ine did cooperate with law enforcement. So obviously he wanted people to keep the same energy with Gunna as they did with him, which I'm not really gonna fault him for. Something else that happened was Gunna getting unfollowed by some industry rappers on social media. So what happened is Gunna made his comeback to social media with this picture right here. On a caption of the photo, he said, "Niggas acting like they switching to a side, but it's only one side. Hashtag YSL the label, free Thug, Gunna back." A few days after this post, Gunna ended up getting unfollowed by a couple rappers, one of them being Lil Baby. Very surprising to see this, because Lil Baby and Gunna, practically brothers. Not related, but they've been extremely close for
I didn't know that. Lil Baby actually unfollowed him. But that doesn't mean shit though. That doesn't mean shit, so. What the fuck? Pussy? Why would you say that? What the fuck?
long time, frequent collaborators as well. I mean, not only did they come in a game together, but Gunna actually played a part in helping teach Lil Baby how to rap. So Lil Baby was one of the people who unfollowed him in the midst of this entire thing. Another rapper who unfollowed him was Meek Mill, who hit the...
Why would you say pussy though? Is that pussy? Were you trying to say pussy? I don't know what you're saying, bro. But what's sounding though? How you doing? Explain yourself. What did you say to me? Explain yourself, or I'm gonna.
The button right after Lil Baby. All this unfollowing shit, by the way, super corny, but I digress. Aside from that, we have a couple other things. Another person who joined the conversation was Durkio, Chicago's finest. Durk, after the whole Gunna situation went down, previewed this record on Instagram, where it appeared he was taking some shots at Gunna. I'm saying appeared, but really anyone with a set of 2 ears will know that it's about Gunna. On a record he previewed, Durk said, "I pray for the girls who die from BBLs," and then on the next line,
isn't that what his name is? Boosie, right? Boosie, Pussy, Boosie. I don't know. I think it's Boosie though.
He said, "What happened?"
No, what did? Fuck it. I don't even remember what I said. So what did he say? I pray for the girls who die from. What the fuck? There's some girls that die from BBL? That's crazy. What the fuck was that? I wasn't expecting this. I pray for the girls who died from BBL. What happened to Virgil? He probably gonna tell. Damn. Is that a song? Is that a song from what is it called? Think, 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 Simon, think. From that whatever song they did together, right? That's great. No, let's go back. Let's forget about the whole snitching thing. Let's go back to this fucking lyric. I pray for the girls who died from BBL. If you're telling me someone actually died from BBL, I don't know what God thinking. I don't know what God was thinking when he actually like decided that day, okay, you're dying from BBL. Yo.
To Virgil, he probably gonna tell. Or actually, he said it more like, what happened to Virgil, you probably gonna tell. Oh my god, what happened to Virgil? Or what happened to Virgil,
Yeah, the
I
song
should
they
say,
did
is of course
together,
a record featuring Durkio and Gunna from 7220. I think what Durk said is pretty straightforward. Clear shot at Gunna, someone who Durk was apparently close to, but maybe not as close as we thought. Another rapper who got involved is Lil Gotit. Lil Gotit, for anyone who doesn't know who that is, he's a YSL signee out of Atlanta. He's the brother of the late Lil Keed, who passed away back in May of last year. But Gunna posted a tweet paying his condolences to Keed by saying, rest in peace Keed, I love you and I miss you, twin. Lil Gotit came out the cut and essentially denounced Gunna by saying, niggas need to stop the cap, and then he said, don't call me twin.
Whoa.
You know, it's been really interesting seeing all this going down. I think this entire story, everything from the YSL Rico indictment to Thug and Gunna's incarceration and Gunna's eventual release, has exposed a couple.
You know, actually, let me stop it. I want everyone watching to actually, maybe some of y'all don't know him. Maybe some of y'all do. I know Filmon, you know him. I know Nahom, you know him. You think Gunna actually snitched? He actually did? Because the way the fucking judge worded the thing is that I don't think he actually did. But I don't know. What are you guys think? Let me know right now. Right now.
Things. The first one being this: when shit hits the fan, there's really no such thing as not folding under pressure. Let me explain. Let me ask you this: what's the common mantra amongst street rappers? What's the one rhetoric all of them not only promote, are advocates of, and encourage? Not a very hard question to answer. That would be no snitching. If you get brought in for questioning, no matter how much time they tell you they're gonna give you, make sure you stick to the code. This is a mentality 99% of, street rappers allegedly abide by. And one reason why I think it's so easy for a lot of street rappers to stand behind this no snitching code is because they've never been in a position where they've truly ever gotten tested in a scenario like that. It's one thing to be in a booth talking about, they try to give me 10, I refuse to fold, the pigs put me in a pen. Damn, that's a fucking bar, nigga. And it's another thing to be in.
To be honest though, if I was locked up, and let's say it was someone that I barely knew, like 1 year to 4, okay, maybe 1 year to 3, let's say 3, okay, 4 is probably, you know him better, right? If I know that nigga for like 4 years and something happened and they be like, okay, listen, Kendaya, you got 2 options. 1, you're gonna serve 10 years. Or 2, you're gonna tell us who did it. And we'll let you free. Bro. Plus, I'm making a lot of fucking millions, okay? I'm already rich. If my life is fucking horrible, then might as well just end up in the fucking jail and serve my shit, right? Instead of going back to the hood and fucking die, right? For snitching. But if I'm fucking rich and I had to snitch, I'm probably gonna do it. Hey, I'm probably gonna do it. Okay? I'm not saying that shit is not, you feel me? But like, I'm probably gonna do it. You feel me?
In that cold interrogation room getting grilled like a pig.
Everyone that's gonna fucking argue with me on this chat that says, oh, I'm not gonna do it, 4 years, that's my brother, and blah, blah, blah. That's cap. When it comes to real life, everyone is snitching. I know myself, that's what I'm saying.
It's a chicken breast facing 20.
Only, I'm gonna say this, only if it's a family member. If it's a family member, I can't. I just can't. Like, I can't do it. But if someone I knew for like 4 to 5, because if I know you since I was a kid, you're basically my brother. You know what I'm saying?
25 to life. I think 99% of people, regardless of if you're a street rapper or not, would end up spilling the beans and add some additional beans on top of that bitch, as a matter of fact. Gunna is, of course, one of those guys, like a lot of rappers. He's been a big advocate of the whole no snitching code. People look at Gunna in this case, knowing all the shit he said in his records about how he would never fold, and now he's a hypocrite. And that's something I actually agree with. I think there's too much hypocrisy in general, not only amongst a lot of the modern rappers, but specifically in the street rapper section, right? So let's talk a little bit about that. My issue with this entire thing is people refusing to recognize that anyone in Gunna's position would have done what he did. Most street rappers would have done exactly what Gunna did. No question, no ifs and buts, that would have happened. I can't really blame it.
And this is coming from I'm not no street dude, okay? This is coming from me.
anyone but Gunna for the response he's gotten though, and I say that because, you know, he's fed into the no snitching rhetoric, and look what happened when shit eventually hit the fan. Gunna and the entire YSL crew got split as a result of this indictment, which is to be expected because most people, regardless of if they're a street rapper or not, are gonna panic. The prosecutors start throwing around double-digit numbers, 30, 40, 50 years. Shit, I'm gonna look at you twice if you don't snitch, cause what? You're telling me that you're facing football numbers and the first thing on your mind is, I'm gonna hold it down for the guys? What guys exactly are we talking about? Because they're in that interrogation room singing like The Weeknd right now. All jokes aside, Gunna's a rapper who rapped about all that, yes, but he's a human being, and human beings tend to do what's in their best interest, especially if there's a possibility they're gonna be doing TK numbers. Capiche? With that being said, Gunna and any rapper who talks a good game, because that's all this shit is, it's not real, it's a game, it's entertainment, and it pays very well. Any rapper who moves like that, i.e. promotes a way of living.
Now when I look at rapper, and when a rapper says, oh, I killed this nigga, I'm blah blah blah, I'm a drug dealer, I fuck 10 hoes at a time, and blah blah blah, like, I'm starting to question a lot, because most of the time those rappers don't even write their shit. Like J. Cole said, they don't write their shit. They don't live the life that they say they live. They don't do it. That's the whole fucking, they're fucking anime characters. They're characters, okay? They're fictional characters. They say shit that they don't do. That's what they are.
Living they don't even believe in, which is 99% of them. They should be held accountable for that. Now that's the part I put on Gunna, because I look at how everything went down and I'm not surprised by the outcome. That's why I don't even care to go hard on Mr. Gunna Tello. I wouldn't even be surprised if, hypothetically speaking, Gunna directly pointed the finger at Young Thug and, you know, said this is what he did that, and he did this, and that's because ain't no loyalty in the game, especially amongst street rappers. This is something that should be common sense at this point. Someone who puts no snitching above coming home to their family and putting criminals behind bars, what does that tell you about their character? There's a lot of questions people need to ask and answer when it comes to the so-called street code. I want to make this abundantly clear before I continue. Obviously, this is from the perspective of someone who lives in a gated neighborhood, white people jogging at 6 a.m. sharp, you know the vibes, I digress. The first question people need to ask is, what is a street code and who is it actually relevant to? Unless you've lived that kind of lifestyle and you desire to uphold to what they call a street code, it's simply not relevant to you. And that's 99%.
Hey, what's happening? Yo, I don't know how to say that. Good. Quandi Dingley here. What's happening, Quandi? Shout out to you.
Percent of you, if
I probably messed the fucking name up, but shout out to you. You know who I'm talking to.
Not 100, because if you're listening to my ass, I know damn well that's not you. Anyway, so the conversation that was and is being had about this, completely pointless, and I guess I'm feeding into it right now, but I'm a bag chaser and the rent is due. Something important I do want to highlight about this entire story regarding Gunna is the fact that most street rappers, contrary to popular belief, won't 9 times out of 10 end up in the same predicament as Gunna, which is why essentially all of them are able to be so adamant about what they would and wouldn't do had they been in the same exact position as Gunna. No different from me saying something along the lines of, if I got in the ring with Mike Tyson, I would beat that nigga's ass. Knowing damn well that would be the day my ass sees.
You just gotta be real with your fucking life, bro. Sometimes you just gotta be real. Like
the Reaper. So if I know that I won't be tested,
fuck. Sorry about that.
In that way, because what's the likelihood of, you know, me and Mike Tyson ending up in a ring together? 0, unless I'm ready to die, which I'm not. What's the likelihood that your average street rapper, number 1, gets wrapped up in a RICO indictment, and 2, ends up not telling if that scenario happened? Slim to none. So a lot of what we've seen, if not everything in this story, is based on an illusion of what's right and not right. At the end of the day, we're talking about a criminal organization that's potentially taken lives and hurt people. The elephant in the room is none of this is morally right. None of this is okay. I mean, we're talking about real people getting deleted. So the fact that the conversation has been more about Gunna snitching and not there were potential victims in the story. A lot of families got torn apart as a direct result of the alleged damage YSL, the criminal organization, caused. That tells me a lot about the kind of headspace hip-hop is in right now. Anyway, any thoughts on this conversation?
That was a good video.
She don't believe in shooting stars, but she